Hello. So today I'm gonna go and study another case study. Yesterday's case study was really nice. I got to learn a lot. Now let's start the second case study. It's a case study from BCG, Boston Consulting Group. I'll share my screen to start off. Great. So this is titled as the Digital Strategy Case Study. Want to know what to expect from a digital strategy case challenge when applying to Boston Consulting Group? Try this example and incorporate their tips presented into your approach. Start quiz. Our client is Newbank, a digital bank that launched 2 years ago. When Newbank launched, it was quickly ranked #1 in customer satisfaction. However, due to increasing competition from new entrants, Newbank has now dropped to #6 in the rankings. The newly appointed CEO aims to bring Newbank back to the top three. They have engaged us to evaluate Newbank strategy and provide recommendations to achieve this goal. Okay, so it is a very simple scenario. We have our client, which is Newbank. When it was launched, it was #1, but due to some recent competition in the market, it has dropped to #6. We are tasked to give it recommendations so that it can again come into the top three. Let's start. To regain its top ranking, which of these should not be a focus of area for Newbank to research, analyze, and act upon? First option, expanding its product offering to match customer needs and competitor offerings. New product in healthcare insurance or lending could address current gaps. Okay. So the first option is expanding its area of services, offering more products so that new, such as healthcare insurance and lending, could help bring in new customers. Now coming to second option, improving the overall customer experience and re-engaging existing customers, enhancing digital platforms and services also a key to attracting new customers. Okay, the second option is more of doing better what they're already doing, and they should re-engage their current customer base. They should make them feel more trusted, more comfortable. Also, developing a new digital platform could be a way to bring in new customer base. And third option is developing data-driven marketing to reach new customer segments and increase share of wallet. Developing data-driven marketing to reach new customer segments and increase share of wallet. Tailored campaigns and offers based on customer data analytics would help. The third option is focused on marketing and advertising. Running through data analytics and finding the best approach of running tailored campaigns and offers could help bring in new customer base. And the fourth is consider rebranding the bank under a different name and logo. Okay, so clearly, uh, rebranding should not be the focus area because the existing customer base would be it would be disloyal to the existing customer base. Let's see. The first three approaches have a lot to offer Newbank in terms of regaining market position. The one with little to add is consider rebranding with a different name and logo. Exactly. You wouldn't just rebrand your whole brand just because you dropped #6 from #1. Turning to first steps, you can't move in all directions at the same time. Where should you begin? Okay, so uh, let's see the options. Develop initial recommendations based on competitors' approaches. Analyze customer feedback to understand unmet needs. Choose the easiest to accomplish quickly to move the project forward. Okay, I think it is very important. I will choose the second option because maybe we are doing something wrong. A major of a customer base is saying that we need this type of service, but we aren't able to provide that kind of services. So I think I will analyze customer feedback and to understand the unmet needs and conquer those needs first. Let's see. Yes, since the goal is to improve market position and improve our rating among customers, starting with customer feedback to assess which approach is likely to have the biggest impact is the right choice. Exactly. Uh, Looking at the data above, what conclusion can we come to? Okay, because seeing the data first, we are given a bar chart customer rating out of 10. In customer support, we are ranked around 7, 7.5. In product, we are ranked 5. In advertising and marketing, we are rated about a 8, 8.5. And in value, we are rated a solid 10. Customers aren't pleased with the value of new bank. So we should run a series of campaigns with specials and offers. The first option is absolutely incorrect because we are clearly ranked, because we are clearly rated 10 out of 10 in value. Now, coming to the second option, customers don't feel like they're getting quality customer support. So, we should focus on improving the overall customer experience. Yes, there is some space in improvement in customer support, but still it is around 7.5. Let's see the other option first. Customers find the product lacking, so enhancing the current product and expanding product offerings to match customer needs is a good approach. Okay, so we are rated 5 in product. So clearly, there is a lot of potential, lot of scope in our product ratings. So I think the correct option is this, but let's see the fourth option first. Customers are tired of seeing new bank ads or find the marketing strategy unimpressive. In marketing, also, we are doing kind of good. So I'll choose the third option, which is about a product. You are absolutely right. Customers are not pleased with the product. One of the most effective next steps would be to compare Nubank's product offerings to its major competitors. That way, we can identify which product offerings fall short for Nubank. Okay, let's see the above data. So, for the personal loans, we also provide a personal loan, and each and every bank is providing a personal loan. For mortgages, we are providing mortgages, but not other banks are not doing so. Credit cards, again, same as personal loans. Dental insurance, we aren't providing dental insurance yet, but Mambo Bank and Lumi Bank are providing dental insurance. We also have a mobile app like all the other brands have. And okay, we do not provide foreign exchange. All of the rest of the four banks do provide foreign exchange. We are lacking in that area. Dental insurance and foreign exchange are missing from the Nubank's product offerings. It is correct. Nubank's mobile app does not perform as well as competitors' apps. We do not have sufficient data to prove this assumption. All that is given is that we have a mobile app, others bank also have a mobile app. Mortgages aren't important to offer. I don't think so because the current economy, everyone needs to take a mortgage on their homes. So I'll choose the first option, which is dental insurance and foreign exchange. You are right. These are the two product offerings that competitors have, but Nubank doesn't. Adding one or both to these Nubank offerings would be a good idea. How would you prioritize the products? Okay, so now we are asked about the priority in which we will launch our new products. Let's see the options. Specifically, which criteria is most important to meet Nubank's objectives? The first option is uplifting the revenue, evaluate how much each new product could potentially generate in additional revenue for Nubank. Consider factors like market size, pricing, customer demand, cross-sell opportunities, and etc. Prioritize products with the highest revenue potential. Okay. Second option is the time it will take to reach the market. How quickly the new product can be developed or launched either through the in-house build, partnerships or acquisitions. Products that can be rolled out more rapidly should be a higher priority to fill gaps sooner. And the third option is the customer impact. Determine how significantly each new product would improve customer experience, expand share of wallet, and drive retention. Products rated highest here, example, by addressing major customer needs, should take precedence. None of these reflect Nubank's goals. So it was clearly mentioned to us that we need to improve our rating, the presence of our bank. So I think the best is the third option. Maybe a service which uplifts revenue by many folds. But maybe our customers don't need that service again, or a very small share of those customers need that service. Again, the time to market it is very important factor while considering. But I think we need to maintain a basic quality that each and every product that we deliver should definitely be of quality and it should help customers in their way. So I'll choose customer impact. Let's see. You are right on target. What is most vital to new banks' efforts to improve their market position is customer impact. Okay, so using the data above, what conclusions can we make about a typical customer and their needs? We are given a bar chart of age. Okay, so the majority of people using our services are aged in 25 to 34. Interests, 44.7% of the people are interested in travel, and around 78% of these people use mobile to access our services. Okay, new banks customers are mostly young, mobile driven, and travel a lot. They need a product to keep pace with them. It is correct. New banks customers are mostly middle aged and thinking about long term stability. They need a product to help them plan for the future. Okay. And new banks customers are mostly located primarily in Asia and are concerned with health and well being. They need a product to support their health. From the data, we can clearly see that options 2 and 3 aren't data backed. They are just some assumptions given to us. So I'll choose the first option because we could clearly see that around 35% of the people are in the age 25 to 34. It is not the majority, but it is the most amount of people. So I think I'll choose this option. Let's see. Exactly. Given this information, which of the products addition should be pursued? Adding dental insurance, adding a commission-free foreign exchange. The data doesn't support one or over the other. Clearly, as we could see that our audience is young, they travel a lot. So definitely, if they travel a lot, they need a exchange, a foreign exchange. So I'll choose the second option. Absolutely. The young traveling customers will appreciate a commission free foreign exchange. You present the information and the CEO agrees. Now you need to develop a plan and a timeline to MVP, minimum viable product. Let's see the options. So, in option A, define product vision and key features, explore competitor offerings, outline 2 year development roadmap, identify tech partners and vendors, build APIs to banking and compliance systems, develop UX and UI designs. Okay, this is a very well defined option, but let's see other option first. Define product vision and key features, definitely. Build business case and financial model, obtain executive approval to proceed, build APIs and develop UI UX. Option C is develop product vision, hire senior product lead, build business case and financial model, outline 2 year development roadmap, identify tech partners and vendors, and develop UI UX. And the fourth option is hire senior product lead, explore competitor offerings, outline 2 year development roadmap, identify tech partners and vendors, and finalize external partners and vendors. Okay. So Honestly, I think the best option should be A option, because in this option we are first uh, identifying our requirements, we are identifying people who could do that, tech partners and vendors, and then we build the product. Because if I go and hire a senior product lead, then it's 4 weeks, and 4 weeks is honestly a lot. Till then, I'll be till here, and still I'll have a lot of work to do. So let's see. I could be wrong, but I think it's A. The correct steps were to define product vision, build business case and financial model, obtain executive approval, build APIs, and then develop UX user. Okay, I was wrong. Okay, so I think it is very important in such cases that we first clearly define the business case and the financial model as mentioned, and obtain executive approval, and then only start with building the product itself. Why is it important to start with step one, defining the product vision and its key features? It is best to start any project with the most narrow vision possible for the product, as the scope will creep as the project continues. It is best to start any project with the most narrow vision possible for the product, as the scope will creep as the project continues. Okay, getting C-suite approval is the first real step in any project. Okay, I don't know what C-suite approval means, but let's see. A lack of clarity around the goals and scope of the project can mire a project in endless iterations. Okay, the first option is that we could start with something small because the scope will widen as the project continues. The second option is something about getting a C-suite approval. I don't know what that means. And the third option is that if we don't have a clarity about the product vision and its key features, then we will move in some other direction and we will end in a loop with infinite iterations. So I think I'll choose option C. Absolutely. It's a good idea to pin down the goals and scope in order to have a plan that everyone can agree upon. Pardon me. The competition's products may change so much in that time period, it is not worth developing that plan now. Why do you think outline 2 year development roadmap is not one of the vital steps to develop the MVP? Okay. The competition's products may change so much that in that time period, it is not worth developing that plan now. The second option is a 2 year development roadmap is not sustainable enough to plan future growth. And the third option is the 2 year development roadmap goes far beyond the scope of building an MVP, as only a rough roadmap is necessary. I think the first option is okay. So the question is, why didn't we include a 2 year development roadmap? The major reason why we didn't include this step, okay, as it was mentioned that we need an MVP, a minimal viable product. I think a 2 year roadmap can go far enough because we need a product really fast. But at the same time, a 2 year development roadmap is not substantial enough to plan future growth. So I think I'll choose option B. Let's see. Okay, I was correct. Actually, a 2 year roadmap is a bit excessive given the early stages of the product. Long term planning is important, but only after the team has found a perfect solution. And why do you think identify technology partners or vendors for solutions is not one of the vital steps to develop the MVP? Okay, it is very likely the MVP proof of concept can be developed in house with the existing talent. Very true. 2 weeks isn't enough time to find external partners or vendors. External vendors are too costly at this stage. I think it is the first option because second option 2 weeks is okay. It can be enough time. I don't actually know the amount of time it takes, And definitely, cost is not a problem for our company. I think it should be the first one. Correct. It doesn't need to be perfect to establish the MVP. So, leveraging existing talent is the most time and cost effective approach. The CEO of our back client has asked for an update on our findings. You tell them that in order to return to being a top ranked bank, new bank should focus on its product offering by developing a commission free foreign exchange. What reason do you give them for this recommendation? Adding this feature would raise the profile of the online banking industry publications. Okay. The second option is it's low hanging fruit that can make a real difference to the bottom line as it is an easy implementation. And the third option is adding the feature is likely to have the largest impact according to customer sentiment and demographics. So the first option is that it would help us in industry publications. The second option is that it could be an easy product to develop. And the third option is because it was backed by data, this feature would have the largest impact. So clearly, I always focus on data backed findings, and it should be the third option. Spot on. The user data supports this position. Exactly. This is a way new bank can make their customers happy. Which of the following would you include in your recommendation to the CEO? The MVP build timeline and next steps for implementation, merger and acquisition opportunities related to future development, a list of opportunities for cost cutting and operational efficiency, and research on the competitors' products. Okay, I think option B and C would definitely not be included in my recommendation. It could be the first as well as the fourth option, but if I had to choose one, I think it would be a more deeper research on competitors' products because maybe if we achieve the foreign commission free foreign exchange in a short period of time, then we need more research on the competitors' products that we can bring in to ensure more customer base. That is important information, but it's beyond the scope of the current project. Okay, okay, I was wrong. We have to stick what we were asked. We wandered in a different direction altogether. Uh, so, if we have decided that we will build a commission-free foreign exchange, we should provide our recommendations on that only and not wander off to different things. I'm currently studying. I have 0 to 3 experience of experience. I'm interested in data science and analytics. All of this is filled. I'll just put student in here. Okay, so now I have some time left, so I'll read all these business judgment and strategy. Putting data into context. Understanding the data isn't enough. Business judgment and strategy is the application of that data to solve problems in an efficient, conscious way. Assessing which factors are most important to the goal of a project and seeing the bigger strategy are vital. For instance, after analyzing customer sentiment and comparing a client's product offering to their competitor, you chose customer impact as the criteria most significant to meet Nubank's objectives. This is well supported by data and shows sound business judgment through application of that data. Data requires context, judgment, and careful application. When building your case study, consider all the factors carefully. Avoid selecting what is easy or obvious unless that choice is supported by the full context. Now, coming to problem solving, overcoming obstacles. Once you understand the data and its context, it's time to plan and problem solve. A key element of the case study will be demonstrating your ability to identify and mitigate problems. Developing an MVP or prototype means creating something as quickly as possible to get it tested. Your goal is then to choose which steps are most crucial to produce a working prototype. It can be complicated to figure out which elements are relevant to an MVP. You selected some wrong steps, such as outlining a 2 year development plan. This is far beyond the scope requiring to build a working prototype. Exactly. We wandered off too far because if we have to build a minimum viable product, we could just start right away and not waste our time on getting it to long term plans. As another example, to identify technology partners for vendors or solutions is also not required for an MVP because it's likely the product can be developed in house with existing talent. The correct steps were define product vision, build the business case and financial model, obtain executive approval, build APIs to the banking systems, and develop the UI UX design. Consider each step and understand why it is important to the overall project. Many of the other steps described are critical for long term project success, but the immediate problem to solve is the creation of the MVP to assess and test the product. Answer driven communication. Relying on vital information, use quantified data and concrete examples. Communicating with stakeholders is essential. Whenever presenting information, you should follow a three-step pattern. Present your assertion or idea clearly at the start, provide supporting arguments, and finally strengthen those arguments with quantified data. Everything that we recommend should be backed by data. It should not be something that your gut says or you just feel like doing that. It definitely should be backed by data. In this case, the most important information to support your claims is customer feedback and demographics information. Every suggestion you put forth in a project should be supported by the data. Now it just takes me to the services provided by BCG. Great company. Would love to work here one day. So yeah, this was a pretty short case study, a simpler, easier one, I would say. Although I majorly went wrong on developing the process or the plan to develop the MVP, but okay, it's okay. That's how we learn. So yeah, that's it. I think I still have a good half an hour left. So I'll start the third case study given on their site. The third, and I think the last case study given on their site. Let's start this challenge. Okay, so it is titled as the in IT architecture, information technology architecture case study. Let's start. I'll just have a good bit of water. Please pardon me. The case study is the most influential part of the interview. We use it to test your ability to structure and solve our clients' problems, demonstrate creativity in articulating insights. They are designed to give you an idea of what a real 10-week BCG case is like. Try this example and incorporate the tips presented into your approach. Okay, they are not tracking any of our scores or candidate responses. We could just go to it through multiple times. Now we are given a good context. Consumer goods company Henderson PLC is looking to upgrade their on-premise enterprise resource planning ERP system. ERP is Enterprise Resource Planning System, and cloud migration is a requisite of the upgrade. Definitely, we all know that the future lies in cloud. Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, and AWS are some leading players. I am myself preparing for my AWS Solutions Architect exam. I think I'll give it in 2 weeks or less when time permits. Let's see. The company has 30,000 employees operating in 20 countries. Okay, so it is a huge company, and their applications are hosted on two different cloud services. The context tells us that Henderson PLC wants to upgrade their own enterprise ERP system, and definitely, if they want to upgrade it, they need cloud migration, and their applications are currently hosted on two different cloud services. Let's start. Before diving into the planning for the migration, consider why Henderson PLC might want to make this change. Okay. Of the following, which is not typically a business benefit of a centralization and migration of ERP capabilities to the cloud: improved scalability, lower costs, and less dependence on outside vendors. Okay. Which is not a business benefit of a centralization and migration. So definitely it is scalable. AWS is very scalable with load balancers and auto scaling. It automatically finds the correct number of instances our application should run on, and does it without any human interference. The cost could be not exactly lower, but yes, we do not have to pay any upfront costs. We it is a as we know it is a pay as you go model. We only pay for the services that we currently use. So we do not need any architectural cost, any upfront use costs, any data service cost, and less dependence on outside vendors. This is not exactly correct because obviously, if we choose a outside service, for example, AWS, then we are very dependent on AWS. So I think I'll choose this option. The correct answer is less dependence on outside vendors, as a company may increase its dependence on the cloud service provider for its equipment and services. Scalability is a benefit of cloud migration, allowing a company to scale resources up or down based on the current need. And lower costs are also a benefit, as cloud computing platforms offer a pay as you go pricing model. I was correct. There are many things to consider in a cloud migration of an ERP. Which of these topics would a BCG team need to consider when working with a client to implement the migration? Okay, so we need to find out what factors our team needs to consider when we implement the migration. Business process engineering, okay, governance, vendor selection, business case stratification, and all of the above. So clearly, any single thing is not entirely needed when we implement the migration. So yes, I think I choose all of the above. You're absolutely right. The correct answer is all of the above. As ERP cloud migration requires stakeholder buy-in and offers an excellent opportunity to reevaluate and streamline business processes, choosing the right cloud vendor and going through the business case ratification process are also vital to ensure the project is financially viable. Definitely. Now, BCG has already done some initial analysis on the current implementation. The findings are visualized in the image above. Let's see which area should be of our top priority. Okay, so from blue to green, it is from 1 to 5. 1 is underperforming and 5 is outperforming. Scopes and opportunities. Objective is unassessed. Scope is a solid 1, which is underperforming. Risks and dependencies are very high on the other side. So, not a really good option. Business value and economics. Business case is around 2 and 4. Okay. Sizing and cost is outperforming, and forecasting is again underperforming. Organization and governance. It is governance is around 1 and 3. Organization and skills is around 4. Solution and deliverables are again underperforming. delivery life cycle is averaged, and infrastructure is kind of outperforming. Okay. This is a very tough question. I honestly don't know that which option would be the most high priority. But if you had to choose one, it is mentioned to us that choosing the right cloud vendor and going through the business case that, sorry, my bad. I read for the previous question. For the objective and risk is very unassessed right now, while the risks are very high. Now, I don't know whether this outperforming means that the risks are high or are the risks low. So, if I had to choose one, I'll make a guess. I'll go with business value and economics. Let's see why. Okay, so my guess landed in the right place. But let's see why. Yes, the business value and economics of any program changes must always be examined and understood. After all, if the program change is not going to improve the bottom line, it should not be undertaken. However, there is a second area that is essential for success for any business venture. What do you think it is? Okay, so again, it has asked me these four. I think I'll choose scope and objectives. Absolutely. Starting with scope and objectives is vital for a few reasons. First, it's one of the lower performing areas. Secondly, scope and objective needs to be clear before embarking on the other elements. Okay. So each and every time we should be definitely be clear with our scope and objectives. So that's why I think we had to choose scope and objectives for the first and the implementation of the second. Now let's do some risk assessment. Considering the above information, which risk will you address first to secure the delivery? Okay. In conversation with the client, BCG has uncovered the following facts. The implementation dates for all countries have been fixed at the start of the project. Okay. The delivery has been outsourced to multiple suppliers. Okay. Suppliers update on their work processes verbally in a monthly meeting and are managed by on site project managers. All suppliers state that they are on track for the UAT implementation date in 8 months' time. Henderson PLC has not yet seen the new system, and the suppliers are all running on fixed price contracts to deliver the functionally defined user transactions in a requirement specified specification document. Okay, so these are some facts that are given to us. The implementation dates had been fixed. The delivery system has been outsourced to all suppliers. They do verbally update their process and are managed by the on-site managers. They are on track to finish the project in 8 months of time. But Henderson PLC has not yet seen the new system, and all of these suppliers are running on contract-based contracts. Okay. Now let's see which risk I will first address to secure delivery. Outsourcing to suppliers means you lose control of the workflow and the work should be conducted in house. Okay, not necessarily, because I think in this case that every month they are updating on their processes, on their work processes, and they are always managed by an on site project manager. Pardon me. So the first option is definitely not correct. The lack of transparency at the team level working towards a big user acceptance testing date means that progress may not be advancing as communicated. Not clearly again, because all of them are saying that they can do it in 8 months of time, and uh, s- are communicating perfectly. So there is definitely a transparency. There is no lack of transparency. Third option is a single large user acceptance testing date is an outdated approach. The ERP should be implemented with an agile mindset, with each transaction going live as it is created. Okay. And the fourth option is fixed price contracts will fail to deliver the quality needed. Not exactly, because we have clearly given them software requirements documents. All of what we need is clearly mentioned, so we will definitely get the quality. I think third option, that each as a feature is created, it should be heavily tested and should not be sat upon that we will test it at a later stage. So let's choose option 3. ERP implementations are notoriously hard to undertake in a truly agile approach. Okay. The correct answer is a lack of transparency between the teams doing the work and the client. With a fixed price contract against a large implementation phase, it is critical to have visibility of the progress of work. Okay. Continuous evaluation of the work for both functionality and delivery quality to be able to make the inevitable revisions to make the delivery plan. A plan that is always on track, but the deliverables are not shown is highly suspicious. Okay. So I think the option means that when a product is created, it should be shown to the client. The supplier should not sit on them. We should not begin UAT, but we should still see, because and that would bring in transparency. Okay. Assuming a typical business was tech split for RACI, responsible, accountable, informed, and consulted. Who in the above list do you think should be part of the decision making team? The CEO, the CFO, and the CIO, the CIO, head of architecture, and the head of engineering, or all of these people? I think we should keep all the people in the loop, all the higher ups, and as well as the head of architecture and engineering should be kept in the loop. So I think it should be all of them. Okay, involving everyone will bring excessive overheads, and many of these participants have little to no knowledge of the architectural options and their consequences. It is best to leave the decisions to those best informed and ultimately responsible. In this case, that would be the CIO, head of architecture, and head of engineering. Okay, so I was again wrong here. We should definitely keep the loop to some people, but it should not be like, oh, okay, all the people can come, because that would bring in cost and would somewhat delay, because it is not necessary that all of the people would be comfortable to sit on a specified mentioned date. Let's turn to one of the first architectural decisions to make, choosing where to host the ERP system for a cloud hosting engagement. Which of these would you consider when selecting a cloud host for Henderson PLC? Cost, integration into the existing systems, size of the client company, and all. I think we should consider all of these. Cost and integration is a must. Size is also very important, because it could be a fairly new company who couldn't deliver what they have promised. So I think it should be all. All three elements must be considered: cost, integration, and size of the client company. Henderson's architects have drawn up the high level architecture for digital transformation. The introduction of a new single aggregated ERP solution is often part of a wider digital transformation. Assume that is the case here. Which aspects of the transition which will be the most effective by this new ERP? Pardon me. So for the smart business layer, uh, okay, we have some functions which provide real-time analytics, training, and innovation for speed and agility. For the data layer, we have the data lake, MDM, data visualization, and data streaming. For the core transactions layer, we have the next gen CRM, PLM, ERP. Okay. Which aspects of the transition will be the most effective? So, uh, this is a high level architecture. I am not really acquainted with such of high level architectures, but let's see the options. Business processes. Okay. Data and infrastructure, performance management and infrastructure. Okay. So data doesn't like the ERP from the diagram itself, the ERP doesn't line the data. So it would not be the data and infrastructure. The business processes, which include the supply chain and industry, again the ERP doesn't lie. The ERP does line the core transactions layer, but we don't have an option as such for that. So if I had to choose one, I think it would be performance management and infrastructure. Again, I could be wrong. Please forgive me, but let's see. Performance management and infrastructure are likely to be impacted, but the biggest changes will be to the business processes. Okay, I am fairly new to this. Okay, the business processes are a major impacting party. Digital use cases often relate to existing business processes, either replacing them or requiring some sort of integration into current processes. Most processes covered by digital support functions relate to ERP systems. These business process changes will directly impact many other parts of the digital change program. Running an enterprise wide ERP implementation is a massive challenge for any organization. Maintaining clear understanding throughout the organization and ensuring honest reporting on process and issues is hugely important. Setting the governance model within these large programs is a common responsibility of a BCG team. So when it comes to the governments of delivering a large ERP program, what key practices should be prioritized? The EXCO slash C-suite should be weekly updated weekly. Okay, the C-suite is the CFO, the CEO, and the CIO. Now I understand. Okay. I think it is not correct because for the first, okay, but that was more of a building thing. This is more of a delivering thing. Each business unit should design and adopt their own governance framework. No. There should be an integrated delivery plan reviewed and updated at least monthly, and each business department should appoint a dedicated head of ERP. Okay. I think uh, a key practice should be there should be an integrated delivery plan reviewed and updated at least monthly. Let's see. While it is a good idea to keep the EXCO up to date, weekly is too often and will slow progress. Exactly. Each division coming up with its own governance will likely lead to the problems of coordination And having a dedicated head of ERP doesn't necessarily improve coordination. The best way to handle governance is to have an integrated delivery plan across the company, reviewed and updated monthly. This will keep communication of progress and concerns on target. I was correct. Now let's assume the project has reached a delivery phase. One standard expected in delivery is infrastructure as code. Why is infrastructure as code important? It delivers better integration into modern UI interfaces. It is faster to create. It is a regulatory requirement in certain industries, and it facilitates integration into automation, testing, and monitoring. So, code is very necessary nowadays because it obviously helps in testing, automation, monitoring. So, I think it would be the fourth option. Let's see. Many of the real challenges don't emerge until teams hit the ground and actual delivery. This is why it's so important to use infrastructure as code. IAC can be integrated seamlessly with testing and monitoring tools. This allows you to validate infrastructure changes through automated testing, perform continuous integration and delivery, and monitor the infrastructure's performance and health in real time. IAC helps facilitate such integrations and ensures that infrastructure changes are thoroughly tested and monitored. BCG often takes an advisory or program tracking position over other suppliers for our clients. This regularly means communicating difficult messages to the most senior levels within our clients around the challenges affecting progress. Let's take a look at the slide above, which you have prepared to present to the executive board of Henderson PLC. What changes, if any, would you want to make before the presentation? Okay, now let's see the slide. Transforming the client's business solution technology architecture to improve insight to action and promote integration. The current state, transforming the client's business solution technology architecture to improve insight to action and promote integration. The current state is that is a high number of unintegrated and complex user interfaces, static layered monolithic technology architecture with dense ERP core, poorly integrated heterogeneous application architecture, and multiple data platforms and models with no centralized governance. Okay, so these are some sort of the disadvantages. Now coming to the future state and the benefits, what the disadvantages are converted into single user experience, base layered microservices, seamlessly integrated and API based, and single data platform with universal data models. Okay, and all of these have unsaid benefits. No changes. The slide is a bit busy. Perhaps I could simplify the information. That slide is too negative in tone and sounds alarmist. The slide fails to convey the challenges we are facing. Okay. I know, honestly, this slide is a whole in itself. First, uh, we have the disadvantages that we're currently facing, what they would be converted into, and what are the benefits of these changes. So I think I would make no change. There are multiple problems with the slide in the last example. Okay, the slide is too negative and too busy. You want to keep communication clear, simple, and to the point without taking an unnecessarily negative or overly positive tone. A better example is seen above. Okay, so it still has the current state, future state, and the benefits, but the coloring, the it was honestly very busy. Okay, so that's it. I think for this case study also, it was again a very learning opportunity. It was a very nice case study. Hmm. In managing stakeholders, I was fairly wrong because, yeah, don't bring too many cooks into the kitchen. I brought all of the people, which was not exactly expected. Choosing a solution in evaluating options, okay, cost, integration, size, I consider all of them. And in governance and organization, it is again very important. Setting the governance models within these large programs, okay, and it should be adaptive. There should be constant assurance of the work for both functionality and delivery quality to be able to make the inevitable revisions to the delivery plan. Okay, yeah, that's it. That was all for these three case studies that I've done till now. I've got to learn a lot. I'll continue doing more case studies. See you till then. Bye.